So, Nick, as we continue to refine and get you better in terms of getting to a good launch position at the right time and in sync with the pitcher, there are some things that I want you to look at and keep in mind as you continue to get better and better at this. And I'm going to begin with Miguel Cabrera here, and I'll show a couple other pro hitters as well. But I want you to notice here how he's able to get his hips closed when his front foot lands. And so in the first phase of his swing, the preparation to swing, you're going to see him lift up this front knee. And when he does that, he kind of pinches his front knee in towards his back knee. And right away, those hips start to close. If you look here, where his hips are at, and when he lifts that knee to get ready to stride forward, they start to close. And as he takes his stride forward, they stay closed into his landing position, okay? And that also helps, obviously, keep our shoulders closed as well. Now, if you look over here on the left-hand side with you, there's your heel lift. You're getting ready to stride forward. And when you do that, your hips really don't get closed compared to what this looks like right here. You see a difference in what your hips look like compared to his, and that's the result of what we're doing with the feet here on the front side. And as Cabrera strides forward and gets to his landing position, you can see the position of his hips. And when you stride forward, you see your hips start to leak a little bit there. And so that's something to keep in mind. If you look at another professional hitter, Ken Griffey Jr., for example, it doesn't really matter who we pull up here, but Griffey's another good example. We see him here. Notice his hips. He's going to take and pinch his front knee towards his back knee, and that starts to load those hips. And as he strides, that keeps his hips closed into his landing. And you can see a difference here with the feet and the hips compared to where you're at in your landing. Now, there's a couple of things that go into this. There's the mechanical piece and then obviously the timing piece. And so I just want to go ahead and pull up a side view of a couple of these guys so you understand what the mechanical piece looks like. And then we'll look at what the timing looks like. So we got Miguel Cabrera here, and you're going to see him do a little knee lift. And when he does that, he pinches his knee in towards his back knee. And that movement right there, see that knee turn inward? That's going to help him get his hips closed and keep him closed into his landing position. And with you, when you pick up your heel, there's really no inward knee turn, and that makes him kind of stay open and fly open when you get to your landing. And so maybe you don't feel comfortable doing a knee lift, and that's fine. But if you look at a guy like Albert Pujols, for example, who really has very little going on, when he lifts up this heel, you'll see his preparation to swing right here. But when he lifts up this heel, look how the knee pinches in towards the back knee. And that helps close up those hips right there. And that gets him to a good landing with his hips nice and closed. So that's the mechanical piece of it. The timing is another issue. You have to be able to sync these things up with a pitcher. So if you look here with Griffey, he's in a stance. Now as soon as the pitcher lands on his front foot, Griffey begins to pick up his heel and turn that front knee in towards his back knee. That gets him ready so that when release comes right here, he can begin to work forward and not let his hips fly open too early. Okay? Or if you look at Miguel Cabrera and take a look at how he's timed up. Again, when the pitcher gets landed and starts to attack, Cabrera picks up that heel and begins to pinch his knee in towards his back knee. So that when it's ready, when it's time for release, he can work forward while keeping those hips closed. Okay? Chase Utley's another one who it keeps it a little bit more simple. His timeline's a little bit shorter, but watch. When the pitcher lands, he picks up his heel. And he starts to turn that front knee in towards his back knee and get those hips closed so that he's working forward at release point. So while you're keeping those things in mind, I want you to look at this view right here. And what you're going to notice is that you're just a little bit late with your timing. You're not anticipating and getting ready early enough. You'll see here, I'm working into my delivery, and there I get to my landing position, and your front foot's still flat on the ground, and you haven't pinched that knee in towards your back knee. And I'm really close to release right here, and you're just starting to pick up your heel. And as a result, you're a little bit late going forward, and then those hips leak out as a result because you're rushing to get to the ball. So those are some things I want you to think about as you refine that load and that preparation to swing.